This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, we bring you good news on this Christmas Day, all about how generous people in our area helped a local family. Merry Christmas and welcome to a special FYI on SSPTV. I'm Ken Kara and thanks for being with us. Christmas is a time for giving thanks, and one family in our area is especially thankful for the generous outpouring of love and support after they lost their home in a terrible fire. The same fire that claimed the life of their next-door neighbor, 40-year-old Mark Cherisero. Recently, the Making a Difference Foundation, started by our very own Janine Mazurkevich, hosted a collection for the family to make sure the Inmans and their 5-year-old daughter would have a very Merry Christmas.
Well, on this Christmas, we have an update to an event that took place in our community, a devastating fire. But the community came together, and we're with Stephen Inman and Pamela Rumble, and they were actually victims of a fire that occurred in Freeland. We wanted to update the community this Christmas on how this community really came together to support you and, most importantly, your 5-year-old daughter. So thank you so much for being with us here today.
Absolutely, no problem.
So since this fire had occurred, I know it was a difficult time to get back on your feet. What have you seen from the community as far as trying to get back to some normalcy?
Well, I mean, from the moment that this happened, there hasn't been a second that we've had to deal with this alone. I mean, we've had a shoulder from the very minute that happened till, right now. And, we'll have this until things are back to normal, And we just can't thank everybody enough, from the Red Cross right from the start to our family members, my coworkers. There's just so many people, the Freeland Fire Department, what they did for our daughter was amazing. And we can't thank everybody enough. This is a great community for what they've done,
Where are you right now as far as getting back to some normalcy?
We're getting there. We're, at the best point we possibly can be for this type of situation.
You're looking for a place right now to move. Right now, your American Red Cross has you in housing, but you're looking to relocate back to Freeland, correct?
Right. We were just speaking with someone about a rental home in Freeland, so we're hoping to get back there very soon, possibly within a week or so. We're looking forward to that.
Yeah. How else can the community help if anyone out there is watching, and how else can they assist you?
We're pretty much speechless in that department. We can't think of anything more that we could ask from people. They've given us everything, and we don't know how to thank everybody enough. It's just been amazing. We're speechless over it.
This is a unique community, as you know, and I'm so proud to be from the greater Hazleton area. This community always gives back in time of need, and behind us is just a small example. I know your daughter is 5, right? And what's your daughter's name?
Paslin?
Paslin, okay, and she wanted some Christmas. Santa Claus came for her, and she wanted some Monster High and some Princess and Frozen. Everyone likes that. So the community, along with businesses, have collected just a small sample of what they collected, some clothing and a bunch of toys, so that she will have a very Merry Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know. Oh, go ahead.
The circumstances are bad, but this is probably the best Christmas by far she's ever had. Thanks to everybody.
Well, that's amazing. Please keep us updated. We want to wish you guys the best Christmas possible in holiday season. Most of all, health for you and your family. So thanks for joining us here on FYI.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for coming by. And again, if you guys still want to donate, you can. You could call SSPTV here in Hazleton at 109 West Broad Street. But again, we're doing some updates here for the holiday season on FYI.
Thank you, Janine, for that interview. Many people are warm this Christmas Day thanks to the kindness of others. This past Sunday, FYI was at the Hazelton One Community Center in Hazelton during the annual Thanksmas celebration created by Hazelton native and Chicago Cubs manager Joe Madden. As part of the festivities, beautiful handcrafted hats and scarves were distributed to those in need, and this special project is in memory of a local soldier killed in action in Iraq 10 years ago. We talked with the mother of this hometown hero, Jackie Getz, about the project done in the memory of her late son, Master Sergeant Paul Karpovich.
These items are donated by Stitches of Love, the Paul Karpovich Memorial Chapter in Hazelton, and it's hats and scarves for everyone to celebrate Thankmas. And today is the 10th anniversary of Paul's killed in action in Iraq, so we thought it was a perfect way to celebrate his life and to honor him. He was not only a good soldier, but he was a great humanitarian. So I thank the women of Hazelton who work so hard for Stitches of Love and all the things they make and donate, and to the organizations and individuals who donate yarn.
If you would like to join Stitches of Love, you can contact Jackie Getz at 570-582-5391. And as you gather with your family and friends this Christmas Day, think of the brave men and women who are not with their families but instead are serving overseas to protect your freedom. And especially remember Master Sergeant Paul Karpovich, who paid the ultimate price preserving that freedom. The FYI investigative team tracked down Santa Claus last week in the Hazelton area. Here's our special story from Holy Family Academy on Laurel Street in Hazelton. The students at Holy Family Academy were all really good this year.
And were you a good girl this year?
Well, I wasn't here.
She's being too hard on herself. Trust us, our sources say they were all good. And here's one reason why.
A little girl named Addie, a 6-year-old girl named Addie from Utah. She has a terminal illness, and her wish was to get cards from all around the world. And Holy Family Academy participated in it, and we helped her out by making her cards and sending them to her.
Why was that important for the kids to do?
Well, it's important because we're teaching them the true meaning of Christmas. And by doing this, they learn more than it's just than getting gifts. It's the true spirit of Christmas.
You made cards for a little girl that you all sent away?
I made a present, but she was very sick.
Told you they were all good. Rory Dixon here even says he'll try to cheer up the Grinch if he ever runs into him. Some of the kids told us about their family traditions and what the Christmas holiday is all about.
Brandon, what does Christmas mean? What's it all about?
It's all about the presents and hanging with your family.
What do you do at Christmas time? Why is it so special?
Because I play board games with my family, and I open up presents. Christmas is all about because it's about sharing and giving. Christmas is not about, again, presents. It's about Jesus because that's when Jesus' birthday.
Santa was there to reward the kids for being so good, and he had this message to share with us.
Everyone out in the television world, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and a healthy New Year. Ho, ho, ho!
You thought that was the end of the story, didn't you? Well, sorry, Santa. Taryn Leonard stole the show.
What's your favorite Christmas song?
Jingle Bells.
Why?
Because Jingle Bells, because I love bells.
Sing some for me.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, much fun it is to ride in one horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, much fun it is to ride in one horse open sleigh. Hey!
If you didn't like that story, we're not friends anymore. I'm just kidding. You're entitled to your opinion. Still to come on this FYI Christmas special in sports, we'll talk about a popular restaurant in Florida owned by a popular Hazelton native involved in Major League Baseball. And up next, the Hazelton Standard Speaker's managing editor will take a look back at the biggest stories of 2014.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazelton Standard Speaker.
Many people are gathering today and reminiscing about the many events of 2014. Our Lisa Sugar sat down with the managing editor of the Standard-Speaker about the paper's annual year in review.
Pleased to welcome back our dear friend Mark Catcher, the managing editor of the Hazleton Standard-Speaker, our media partner. Mark, I'd like to take this opportunity on behalf of SSPTV and everyone here in my family to wish your family and your family at the Standard-Speaker a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you very much, Lisa. The greeting is the same for us. We would like to wish you and, of course, all our viewers and readers a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Now, as we know, it's a tradition in the Hazleton area to look at the year in review each year in the Hazleton Standard-Speaker, and this Sunday we will be seeing that again in the newspaper. So Mark is here to give us a little preview about some of the top stories, and that's always a tough decision. I know in TV as well, we've looked over the years to do that. That's not so easy as people may think to come up with what the top stories are.
Right. It actually takes a whole year of planning. Our editors keep a running summary of the stories that happened during the year. And that way, when we get to the end of the year, it's a lot easier to look through them and decide which warrant the consideration for the top 10. So what we do is we have a group of stories, maybe 24 that we choose through, and we ask our staff to vote for what they believe is the top 10, and then we rank them from 1 to 10, with 1 being the most important and 10 being the least important of those 10. So this year we did the same thing, and we found that there was a mix of good and bad stories. And when I say good and bad, I mean positive and negative. Some of the negative came out with the results in the top 10 for the crime that occurred in the area. Recently, we had a story about homicides being down in Luzerne County, and that of course, is a good thing. And anytime those figures are down, we're thankful. But there was one homicide in Hazleton that caught everyone's attention, and it involved a suspect. His name is Amir Edwards, and he's charged with the fatal stabbing of Zachary Richards on Cleveland Street. And the thing that made this incident interesting or compelling is that it followed a crime spree that Mr. Richards was allegedly involved in. Tresco Superfood, there was a break-in and a mugging there, and then there was a home invasion in West Hazleton that he was linked to, and that was a few days prior. And again, these are just the charges at this point, so innocent until proven guilty. And the other story that involved crime in our top 10 had to do with several bank robberies that occurred in Hazleton and the surrounding area, and they seemed to happen in quick succession. So a lot of people were concerned that this was going to be a crime spree, and it was to some extent. There seemed to be one every day, and it had people really concerned about where the next one was going to happen. Some banks put on extra security because of this. As of now, I believe there's been an arrest made in one of those robberies. The others are unsolved, so we'll see where that goes. But I know a few of those cases are still open.
Well, I know people always say we like the doom and the gloom here in the news business or what, but there were a lot of positive things that happened in our area as well. And we were talking just before this segment, revitalization efforts throughout the area and that. So you said there is a mix on your list. There is good and bad. So there's a lot of good as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The Broad Street Corridor project wrapped up in 2014, and that came after 3 or 4 years of construction and endless delays and things like that. So it finally came to an end, and in the last few years we may have been thinking about that as a negative story because people were complaining about it, and it just seemed to be an endless project. But finally it came to an end this year, and the result is there, and it looks wonderful. I know people have been giving it a lot of positive reviews, with a few exceptions. But overall, I think a lot of people are thankful that that's come to an end, and Broad Street looks a lot better through Hazleton and West Hazleton. And the other story in our top 10 that highlights the positive is the efforts of the Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress, and they've put out a plan for Downtown Hazleton. In fact, currently they're looking for some feedback on their website for some conceptual designs and ideas that they have for various places in the downtown. So that's another positive story that I think our readers will find kind of uplifting as they read through the year-end package.
Well, there's a mix of everything every year, so there's always going to be crime in every community. There's also going to be the positive. But as you said, the Downtown Alliance for Progress, we've been highlighting them on our segments here as well on FYI, talking about all the many good things that are happening, the revitalization effort that is underway with the DBI coming to the downtown with their headquarters, and the Markle Building, and the new walkways that are going in, and everything that is really going to make the area have a different look, especially with the now new Broad Street going through Hazelton and West Hazelton. So a lot of things that are happening. So we won't want to give away everything you're putting in your articles for this Sunday, but we do want them to pick up a copy of the Standard Speaker or read it online as well, right, Mark?
Sure. The year-end package will appear in the newspaper on Sunday, and we'll have a review of the top 10 stories. We'll have a year in photos. There'll be a year-end review in our sports section as well that looks back at the sports stories and sports photos from the year. We'll have additional content online at standardspeaker.com. We'll have a poll where readers can weigh in and pick their own top 10.
That's always interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. So it should be a nice package. We're really looking forward to it. It's always fun at the end of the year to look back and see what we've done in 2014 as a community. So we hope the readers enjoy it, and again, just like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Well, thank you very much. And again, pick up a copy of the Hazelton Standard Speaker to see what happened in 2014, and we look forward to working with you and your staff in 2015.
Thank you.
Hello again, and here I have with me Shay. Shay is an approximately 4 to 5 month old German Shepherd puppy mix. Shay is already spayed and up to date on all of her vaccines, including her rabies shots, and she tested negative for heartworm and Lyme. As you can see, she's very affectionate and fairly playful as well. Being a puppy and being the breed that she has a great deal of energy, and we recommend somebody with experience owning dogs for her adopter, especially because of her age. We haven't seen Shay with other dogs, but if anyone who is considering adopting her has any animals of their own, we recommend you bring them down and we can do a meet and greet once you filled out your application. So as you can see, she's a happy, healthy puppy, just ready for a new home. That's it for this week's dog. Let's have a look at our cats. And here with me I have Gideon. Gideon is an approximately 12-week-old kitten who's already neutered, current on all of his vaccines, and also tested negative for feline leukemia and FIV. Gideon here is very laid back and friendly, and as you can see, loves to be held and loves human attention. Gideon is very laid back and friendly, and he's not very hyper or playful like many kittens his age could be. As you can see, his main priority is being held and loved. Gideon does pretty well with the other cats here, even though he has no siblings of his own, so we'd recommend him for somebody who is a first-time pet owner, as well as for somebody who already has pets. And that's it for this week's animals. If anybody's interested in adopting them or any of the other furry friends we have down here, please come on down to 101 North Poplar Street, and we hope everybody has a Merry Christmas this day.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
Confession time. I left my hip party hat at home, so I'm switching things up, going with my Christmas party hat. You can get out your hip party hat. We are wrapping up our Hazelton Integration Project holiday celebration coverage tonight with some extra thoughts from some of the big names who dropped by Hazelton to support the cause. Yes, Hazelton is known for Joe Madden, but it's also known for its great food. And that's where the relationship between the Hazelton Integration Project and the Cal Ripken Senior Foundation begins, with HIP board members and Bill Ripken meeting up for lunch.
Billy came up a couple years ago. We had dinner over, or lunch over at Martin's in West Hazelton, started talking about this project. To have the Ripken Foundation, the Ripken name attached to what we're doing here really validates almost everything that we're attempting to get done. Cal and Billy and all the entire group there has such a strong commitment to kids and the building up of what kids are doing, whether it's athletically, academically, et cetera, as children. We've talked about that within our building here, how important it is to us here. This year it was Bill's brother and Baseball Hall of Famer Cal Ripken Jr. who made the trip to Hazelton.
What has impressed you with HIP, as you heard about, as you look at it from the foundation, what Joe has done, what the board has done here in Hazleton?
Yeah, I mean, to me, I see it a little bit more broadly, is that we have a lot of people that do care about having an impact in their community and also reaching out and helping kids. It's nothing new by any means, but I think if we all can start to utilize our resources and come together, we're ultimately going to help more kids. So we've had great success building youth development ballparks around and reaching out and creating programs. Brother Billy came up here a couple of years ago, and we know Joe, and we know the passion that he brings to the table. And we just saw some synergies that we could be able to help. We could be able to help in the fundraising part of it, and I'm delighted to be here in support of Joe tonight.
How proud are you that the Ripken name not only associated with baseball, but now this charity and all these good works?
Well, I think all of us want to give back and all of us want to make a difference. And I think I always enjoyed the fact that I had an influence with kids when I played. And I always was very thankful that I had a couple of parents that actually could guide me in the right direction. And this is in my dad's name, the Cal Ripken Senior Foundation, because he was all about helping kids. And we're just targeting our resources and our emphasis in an area where it's really needed, the kids that don't have all the same advantages.
Lindsay Berra, a writer for MLB.com and baseball great Yogi Berra's granddaughter, was at the HIP banquet. She talked about the generosity of the Major League Baseball family and how they helped her family after a robbery at the Yogi Berra Museum.
It actually is really amazing how generous and tight-knit the baseball community is. My family's going through a little bit of a crazy time with this robbery at the museum, and Major League Baseball and the Yankees and the Mets have stepped up, and they're going to replace the rings and the things that we lost. And it's like you get like a big collective hug from the baseball community every time something not so great happens. When my grandmother passed away, everyone was so supportive, and everyone supports the other's charity events, the other's golf tournaments, any cause. They're all there for each other, and they've all been buddies for a million years because the community is so tight-knit. It is really a cool thing to see.
This is totally out of left field. Shameless plug. Check out the show on SSPTV.com. Anyways, I talked with Todd Callis at the banquet, a member of the Tampa Bay Rays broadcast team, about Joe Maddon's restaurant in Tampa Bay.
I've been there twice. I was there the opening night, and I was there the second night, and it's a phenomenal place. He and Michael Stewart have a place called Ava right in South Tampa, the hottest spot in the area. It's gotten great reviews so far, and I've been there 2 times. I look forward to my 3rd visit. I think if I'm not mistaken, it got the highest reviews ever for Tampa Bay Times restaurant, and that's pretty impressive considering it's only been open a few weeks now. So they're off to a fast start, and I imagine they'll continue in that direction.
Finally, Madden summed up HIP's 4th annual holiday celebration before the Hazleton Kids Have Talent show.
We keep gaining momentum on an annual basis. Everything, the first night with Cal, obviously, and then last night, our banquet down at Genetti's, where Tommy was sort of just tore it up at the end. It was hysterical, but the turnout, the people the local citizens are getting on board. We're finally starting to pull from the same end of the rope. They're coming here tonight, which is my favorite thing, the Hazleton's Got Talent. Really some spectacular stuff here tonight in the building, and then tomorrow with our Thanksmas luncheon tomorrow at our center. So the momentum is going in the right direction, and I really want to say thank you to the people of the greater Hazleton area for all your support.
We're going to roll all of our HIP coverage into a nice, neat package on episode number 4 of Out of Left Field. Here's an announcement. No FYI on Friday, so Janine, Lisa, and myself can play with our Christmas toys. We will be back on Monday. Until then, Merry Christmas to all, and take it easy.